A wondrous evening here in Nashville, Tennessee is what these drivers really envision here tonight, here for the Hardee's National Series. It is round number 6 of the 2021 season. Edward Ziemba on pole with Tim Fiegel on his outside and Hydra. They've been very inconsistent, had some great speed here and there, and right now with a blistering lap time from Ziemba, he has put himself into the front row. Pace car is off, and all these other drivers optimistic to see where they will end up. Their fate could be decided here tonight as the field rounds towards the front stretch and the green flag will wave. We're underway here at Nashville Superspeedway. And off the start, you see Edward Ziemba trying to hold himself on the inside groove. Sean Angel a little bit out of shape there with help from Corey Williams as the field roars their way into turn number 3. Blaze McKinney already making it 3 wide. Bradley Bishop Jr. in the middle, and Hannah Allen way up to the top. She's already getting hounded in the opening laps of this race. And just like that, she's going to drop outside the top 10, and that's not really where you want to be early on. And Aiden Smith nudging that 17 car out of the way. You see Porkins making it 3 wide in the back, with Brett Hauk making his first start in the 09 car, and looks to be Jake West in the 16 as well. But up front, you see the top 2 already having a good breakaway here. Fiegel, oh, really good run off of turn number 4, all over the back bumper of Edward Ziemba, as Ziemba himself will lead the second lap of the event. Hart sits in third, and the CM cars of Shear and Roush sit 4th and 3rd respectively, but that's going to change because here comes Kev down the inside of Scott Roush. Here he goes for the 3rd spot. Looks like he's going to be able to take full advantage of the inside line, and that's really where you want to be in this race. The inside groove is the way to go, but there is still some resistance if you can get that outside line going, and if you're able to pass, you see Roush able to get a really good exit off the corner, but the battle for the lead already heating up between the 94 and the 43, and Tim Fiegel has had a very horrid start to the season, 30th in the owner's points standings, and pretty far back in terms of drivers, sitting 28th in the standings. He's certainly going to want a big turnaround in terms of his career and really just the season so far. He's really just had a season to forget as he takes the lead away with ease. He's going to get that bonus point there off of turn number 4, with Noah Hart though going to follow in line, and Noah Hart, another driver that's really looking to turn it around. He's had a very slow start, 13th in the standings, despite going upwards in the standings. I think a win from last week would have really helped them go further up the scale, but right now he is running very well there in the 2nd position. But you see the CM cars, they're dueling it out there. You see Shear down the bottom, Roush up top. The Turner Performance cars looking alike off of turn number 4 as RJ's going to pass that number 77 car, Yepes, with ease. And that 77 car, Yepes, has been one of the more consistent drivers on the grid for a reason, sitting 3rd in the standings, 16 points back, certainly wanting a good points day once again. But you see Sean Angels already dropping backwards down the order, 3 wide down the backstretch, and Joseph Strigley in the middle of it as Aiden Smith goes down the bottom. Hannah Allen still way up to the top side, and Angel all the way up against the marbles. They're about to make it 4 wide off of turn number 4. Brett Hauk, oh man, squeezed the issue, and Nelson had to back off, and luckily that could have been a lot worse, for these drivers at the end of the day. But Bobo Jones, another driver, the points leader coming into this race, started very far back, 28th on the grid. He's already trying to crack the top 20. We've got a crash in the back. It's Tiff Foster's number 47. Vicious lick into the outside wall, and the car already plumed in smoke as the caution's gonna fly, and they coming across the line. They're still crashing. It's Sean Angel and Brett Hauk spinning around in the front stretch, and they're gonna get clobbered by Lane Sanders and company, and a big wallop of cars go piling in here on the front stretch. That's Sean Angel's destroyed cookout machine, and that car's already gonna be cooked out, no pun intended. Lane Sanders' car is gonna look like a whipped up cartoon that just didn't really pan out to be too well, and Ross Jackson's car is destroyed, and those two had a rivalry in the past, and they're both probably going to go out early as well. So, and Brett Hauk making his first start, he's going to be done for the day, and already some chaos on lap number 9 of the event. And you see Tim Fiegel will lead the field back down as the field game themselves slowed down, hoping they don't run over each other. But already a crazy start to the event. Tim Fiegel took the lead early on. Hart in second, Ziemba third, Williams fourth, and BBJ your top 5. Here's what happened with Tiff Foster. Peter Onjek was all over the quarter panel of the 47, then just clips into Jeff Bolton, and then the car just careens into the outside wall. Big shot into the safer barrier, and Cal Farrell able to squeeze on by, but the energy drinks having a rivalry there, and certainly going to stir a lot of attention from the media after this one, and Foster's not going to be very happy. This team also really needed a good break. They were 9 points behind 30th, and now they're going to really plummet down the standings as a result. Here's what happened with the 44. Sean Angel. James Ellison was leaning all over that 44 car and just clips the rear end of him and spins him around right into the path of Brett Houck. And Houck, just an innocent bystander, the two of them spinning through the grass. They can only do so much, and then right into the path of Lane Sanders. Big shot there, head-on collision. Ryan Reed, no place to go. Ross Jackson involved, and just everybody else just in the back of the pack trying to slow down. Austin Miller piling in there, no place to go as well. Just the track blocked at this rate. Cole Baker in it. You see Brandon Crasta and William Brock do a really good job, and Jeff Bolton, the others, they're all just trying to slow down from here on out, and Logan Cloud gets a big piece of the wreck. Peter Onjek gets clipped. There's Julio Caesar getting some back end damage, as well as Cal Farrell getting some front side damage to his number 2, but already a big pile up, knocking out a few drivers. Cole Baker, a couple of them were just trying to really move on up and maybe hoping to make some adjustments, but the adjustments they're going to make are not really coming into fruition here for a lot of these drivers, as their days are over. Pace car rounds the final corner. Tim Fiegel leads over Noah Hart, Ziemba, Williams, and BBJ your top 5, with really RJ in 6th, Yepes 7th, McKinney 8th, Roush 9th, and Kev Shear your top 10. As we're back underway, and look at Corey Williams already weaved down the bottom of the racetrack, faked out Edward Ziemba, as he's already trying to go for 2 spots already in the first corner, gets past Ziemba for 3rd, and now already on the prowl for the 2nd position, while right behind him, Blaze McKinney, another driver, being opportunistic on this restart, shoving RJ Bishop into the corner, and BBJ might be one of the big losers out of this. Roush way up the hill, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. Just scrapes the outside wall, and look at the ground he lost off of turn 4. Luke Martin able to zoom on by Eves, as well as Aiden Smith and Srigley, and here comes Jack Halleck down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Roush restarted inside the top 10, already dropping outside the top 10, now losing out to Jack Halleck, and that's going to be for the 15th position. And here comes Jack Porkins down underneath as well. Bobo Jones looking to make a good start as well, despite the bad qualifying run. But back up front, though, you're starting to see some drivers get aggressive here, trying to make the most out of this restart, because who knows how long this green flag run could get. And Blaze McKinney goes down to the bottom of the racetrack here, not able to really get much momentum, but BBJ all over the back bumper of that number 71, gonna tandem down the backstretch. And into turn number 3, RJ's gonna have the momentum into the corner. Blaze McKinney gets the door shut on him. And here comes RJ with a run on Edward Ziemba. And RJ Bishop's really struggled with mech failures in that team. They really got to step up the reliability, and that's really been the concern for this 71 team. And right now they're having a very splendid race, running inside the top 5. Blaze McKinney, though, all over the back bumper once again. But Tim Fiegel starting to feel some pressure from some of these drivers behind him, because Corey Williams has caught track of the Hot Wheels machine, as well as Noah Hart and Ziemba. So we still got a big race in our hands off of turn number 4, and you see they're battling near the mid-pack. Joseph Sprigley inside of Aiden Smith here. That is for the 10th spot. Make that actually the 12th spot, looks to be, as Smith trying to hold his ground on the outside line. Sprigley hugging the bottom groove, sliding up the hill a little bit here, seeing if he can mess him up. But Sprigley, one of those drivers, also looking for his first win in the Hardee's National Series. Bobo Jones, though, right behind this 22 team, and consistency has really been the key factor for this JBL machine. And Bobo Jones, a solid 2-point gap over Bradley Bishop Jr. I know it's a very slim margin, but even so, comes to show how well Bobo Jones can finish. His average finishing position is actually 6th. So, I mean, it's pretty good for a dang reason. BBJ 8th really is his average finish, and you see Corey Williams already getting ganged up on by a couple of Fords, as here comes RJ up to 3rd. Blaze McKinney looking for the 4th spot as Corey Williams gets the run off the corner while the battle for the lead is on. Here comes Noah Hart down to the bottom of the racetrack, all underneath that 43 car, and Tim Fiegel gonna try and defend on the top group, but Noah Hart side by side for the race lead. And both these drivers hungry for a win here. A lot of these drivers hungry for a win early on. They want to get that out of the way, but certainly, oh man, look at how he drives it in the corner. Tim Fiegel, big send into turn number 3, but here comes Blaze McKinney, good amount of momentum off the corner, and now he's going to try and contend for the 3rd spot underneath Corey Williams, this 90 car. They've really upped the ante with this team, and Blaze McKinney's had a very good start. 11th in the standings despite 1 top 10. He's been very consistent in this 90 car. In contrast to Lane Sanders in the 60, this 90 team has really got their stuff together, and now he's already going for the runner-up spot. Tim Fiegel's going to play hard on the defensive, and here comes the 90 with help from a Ford compatriot of RJ Bishop to try and assist this Publix machine up to the runner-up spot, and RJ just doing what he can, and here comes the 90 down to the inside, a good roll off the center, and he's going to be able to take the 2nd spot away without much of a hassle. And you see the field behind the mid-pack getting a little bit calmer by the storm, and RJ now up to 3rd, and Tim Fiegel gonna fight back on the top side. BBJ gonna fight in the bottom with Jack Halleck with a full-on head of steam. His car is starting to charge up there towards the field. His car might be set for some good long run speed, but again, we're gonna have to wait and see how the laps progress. But now Blaze McKinney, oh, what a run off of turn number 2, all over the back bumper of Noah Hart, and he's peeking to make a move down the inside, and there he goes, Blaze McKinney down to the bottom of the racetrack, and here he goes for the race lead. Blaze McKinney off of turn number 4 is gonna clear Noah Hart, and Blaze McKinney with a lightning fast Ford to the race lead ahead of Noah Hart's number 12, and Tim Fiegel gonna flick it down to the inside of RJ Bishop. Bishop gonna try and shut the door here. The battle of the front just constantly going at it, an endless battle for the win. And Blaze McKinney, though, now they're trying to get themselves into a rhythm, and here he goes down the inside, gonna hold his ground. The bottom, Hart gonna try to fight the top groove, but to no avail, and Blaze McKinney up front here at Nashville. Troubles for Matt DeLeo's number 37, the car down on the apron. They've reported they've got a flat tire on that Hoonigan machine, and tough breaks and bad misfortunes for this 37 team. That was a bit of a double negative there, but more or less though, this 37 team, they did not really want this at all to happen, and now it's really becoming a nightmare for Monster Energy Racing. They've struggled to get their cars in the top 30, with the exception of Julio Cesar. Now this is really going to set them back. Fiegel going to try and sail one on the outside off of turn number 2, but Corey Williams, ZM, and the others, they're going to try and gang up on him on that inside line. They just know that's the best way to go, but again, you can still defend on the upper groove. It's just a matter of how these drivers check up on the bottom. You see Williams able to get the drive off the corner, backed up his corner, and now going to make a move to the inside of Jack Halleck here, and that is going to be for a top 5 spot. BBJ immediately tries to look down the bottom underneath RJ Bishop, and RJ's going to slide the hill, trying to cut him off into turn number 2, but had to wash up the track, and here comes BBJ. Now up to the 3rd spot, Edward Ziemba, again not too far behind the squabble of cars in front, as Corey Williams going to try and follow along that number 45, and really the veterans coming up towards the field, and with Noah Hart really in that 2nd spot, not really able to get much ground on that 90, gained a little bit this time on Blaze McKinney, but that 90 car right now so far on a whole different zip code. But here comes Halleck running the outside. Fiegel tried to make a move down the bottom, but immediately goes on the inside of RJ Bishop. Corey Williams gonna pass that 71 car without much of an issue. Diego Yep is starting to put himself into the picture in that 77 car. Keep an eye out on him in the order of the arrow number 77. The Turner Performance car is starting to get better in this long run here, and we're starting to see some drivers pop up. And you see here comes Edward Ziemba down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugs the yellow line, but gonna wash up the hill. Tim Fiegel Oh, stuck in, boxed in behind RJ Bishop as Jack Halleck's able to clear the 71 car. BBJ starting to pressure that 12, but here comes Tim Fiegel to make it 3 wide on the inside and gonna try and go through the middle, trying to split both the Fords. And Tim Fiegel getting very aggressive here, getting very antsy. James Ellison in the back making a move underneath Jack Porkins. That's a great momentum changer for the S3 team as they're gonna kiss that wall into turn number 1, trying to arc that corner in, but Edward Ziemba washing up the track. Tim Fiegel trying to hold his ground and really tight close quarters racing down the backstretch, and Edward Ziemba just gonna send it again, sailed into the corner. The teammates now going at it here. Bobo Jones starting to leer into the top 10, but Shade Eves trying to spoil the party with Joseph Strigley in hot pursuit. James Ellison starting to climb up towards that top 10 as well, and I think that top 10 run for Patrick Smith has really motivated this team to go beyond and plus ultra. Here for the S3 Motorsports camp, here comes Porkins on the inside of Shear, and Shear's really starting to struggle with his 0 car. Jacob Hart moving forwards. There's Aiden Smith just kind of chilling in the top 20. Hannah Allen has not been the same since the start of the green flag. Blake Warren having a very good run in the 19th spot, and Brandon Kratzlu started way far in the back, now up to the top 20. Jeff Bolton there in 21st, and Scott Rouch really struggling with that car. Patrick Smith 23rd, and you see the rest on down, and Cole Baker with no hood to say the least. But now the battle for second heating up. Bradley Bishop Jr. inside, Hart outside, Williams just kind of a bystander in this one, as the 3 of them now going at it. And these are all well-seasoned veterans for a reason. They give each other a lot of space, and Bradley Bishop Jr. now up to second. Williams trying to look for third, but look at the wad of cars all behind him. It's a cluster of them, to say the least. And Diego Yepes stuck on the upper groove. James Ellison starting to move forward, really closing in on that top 10, as we noted, all over the back bumper of Joseph Strigley. And man, the S3 team really, what a complete 180 this team was. They were really struggling to get up towards pace, but now they're starting to really find something with that Texan equipment they acquired, and I think that's really paid dividends for them as a result, as Joseph Strigley now has welcomed himself into the top 10, still battling it out with Shade Eves for the 9th spot. And here comes Ellison down towards the inside. Yep is going to have the run off the corner. Here he goes. Will it go to the inside? Yes, he will. He's going to ditch Shade, and here he goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. Just the battle in the mid-pack going intense here, while the battle up front, though, they're starting to calm themselves down, but we're starting to see some drivers move forwards as a result of their long run pace and some of their calm composures these drivers have put on for some. Some have been aggressive early on and it's really not worked in their favor, and some have just played it easy, and you're starting to see those that have just played the long game starting to move on up, as Ellison has now put himself into the top 10. Bobo Jones still struggling to get into the top 10, but even so, a top 15 run is a great run for this 9 team based on their situation. But I certainly will expect to see this 9 car maybe up front a little bit more often. Gonna try and make it 3 wide off of 4. Really slow exit from Diego Yepes, as now Shade Eves is just gonna be stuck on the top side. He's really got to get down to the bottom of the racetrack, and a big send by Bobo Jones, and Eves washes up the hill, and the 2 Mustangs just struggling, and the 2 Fords, and here comes Porkins to make it 3 wide again. And again, these battles just never end here at Nashville, and although the front seeming tame, the middle of the pack just a big gang of cars, a battlefield to say the least, as Blake Warren starting to welcome himself for a top 15 run. Aiden Smith trying to shut the door, and we're getting closer and closer to the pit window to say the least, and Blake Warren still in the bottom. Eves just stuck on the top. He really's got to get out of there. He is losing spots left and right. Bolton trying to get into the top 20, as well as Strigley goes to the inside of James Ellison for the 9th position. Edward Ziemba just kind of on his own little island with Fiegel and RJ falling behind, but here they come. Blaze McKinney extending that lead 1.36 seconds now to 1.58 as he gets around Ryan Reed. Reed lets him by, but Corey Williams now up to the 2nd spot. BBJ in 3rd, and then you got Halleck 4th and Noah Hart your top 5, and you see the battle on back. They're just going at it to and fro, but we're getting closer and closer to green flag pit stops, but it's Blaze McKinney still leading the way, and so far being the class of the field. Diego Yepes tried cutting off Hayden Smith, but to no avail, and well, he had to slide up the racetrack and actually did hold the momentum down for that one team, but now they're 3 wide right behind him. Blake Warren stuck in the middle, Brandon Cresta on the bottom, and Shade Eves up top, with Jeff Bolton holding his ground down on the inside with Hannah Allen and Kev Shear. And not too far behind the CM cars, 3 of their cars outside the top 10. Very uncharacteristic of them to see. Typically we see some of them run near that top 10, top 5 area, but that doesn't really look to be the case tonight, so they're kind of a little bit off in terms of the setup. Brandon Cresta did have to start way far back down the order, and well, he's had quite an adventure once again, kind of similar to what happened at Iowa, and well, he's now going to get past, or he's going to try and hold off Jeff Bolton down on the bottom of the racetrack. Blake Warren able to try and run away here, running in that 16th position. You see Shade Eves again on the top side, started off pretty good, fired off pretty good, but he's starting to lose some ground in this track. And you see Bolton again back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Cresta not able to really do much. That 82 car looking a little bit quicker off the corner, and well, for now, looks like that he's making some great progress for that Freeze Canada team. And that Hydra line's really starting to really come into their favor. RJ Bishop now making a move on the inside of Tim Fiegel for the 7th position. James Ellison not too far behind. This 23 car, they might have saved their stuff, so James Ellison utilizing that Sony Cup experience of CM Racing, making the most out of it, having experience with the top team, starting to run like a top tier driver right now. We're going up towards the 8th position, so a great run for this 23 team in S3 Motorsports. They're starting to really pick up the pieces here this season. Start off really slow, but now they're starting to get in the top 10 runs, and I know that's probably what they're going to want from now on, but even so, this is still some great progress for the organization. They were struggling to get in the top 30, but now they're doing it without much of an issue. Bobo Jones, though, trying to make a move down the bottom of Fiegel. Fiegel hard on the defensive here, and it looks like Bobo might have the run off the corner and down the front stretch, with Joseph Strigley leering in right behind, with Porkins and Yepes in hot pursuit, with Jacob Hart not too far behind them. And Bobo Jones, as we noted, consistency is his biggest strength here this season, and Bobo Jones doing a splendid job trying to hold them off. And Ryan Reed in that 24 car, remember, he's got damage from the earlier accidents, and well, it's not really going to be another good day for this multiple parts machine. And back up front, though, Corey Williams on his own little island, having a little bit of distance away from BBJ and Jack Halleck. And Noah Hart, though, just kind of chilling in that top 5, while Blaze McKinney, though, is off and away. We're getting closer and closer to some green flag pit stops. We expect him to pit around this lap and all the way probably to lap 45. And Blaze McKinney holding us around the inside, looking to be the best car so far in the grid, but pit stops could really shape the essence of a different narrative here at Nashville. Ellison with a really good run off of turn number 2. Here he goes down to the bottom, and man, he is making the most out of this race car, and Edward Ziemba giving him plenty of space. Ooh, man, big stack up right behind him. Joseph Strigley in the gang as you see the 23 go down the bottom of the track. Jacob Hart out of shape off of 4 in the grass. He's gonna go. Can he save it? Oh, yes, he can. He's gonna merge back onto the track. Tremendously good driving from the 05 team, but he's gonna lose some ground. Looked like Yepes got into the back of Joseph Strigley, and Yepes feels his car is faster. We saw some cars come down pit road, but James Ellison got around Ziemba. Now Fiegel gonna try and do the same, but Bobo Jones looking to try and force the issue, but here he comes down pit road, and here we go. We've got ourselves some green flying pit stops. RJ Bishop coming down. There's Halleck in the 74. There is BBJ and Blaze McKinney coming in this time. So here we go. The leaders decide to come in. Who will stay out a few more laps? Will some stay out more than others? And maybe that's the difference. That might play the big pivotal role in this race. Corey Williams, here he comes down pit road. Will Noah Hart follow? Yes, he will. So they're not going to try and stay on the track much longer. They know they can make it on gas from here on out, but Yepes and Bolton are going to stay out of an extra lap. So interesting pit calls from drivers abound and from the crew chiefs. So I think a lot of them are committed to their strategies, no turning back. And I think the real question will be, will a caution come out that may ruin the strategy of others? There's Blaze McKinney coming out onto the track. There's Jack Halleck. He's going to be up to second. Got past BBJ. And then you got RJ Bishop coming out of pit road. Bobo Jones. Blake Warren's going to have a really good exit. He pitted actually a lap earlier than these guys. And now he's actually going to be propelling himself upward, maybe to a top 10 spot, maybe even a top 5 spot, based on where that undercut may be. That's because of how powerful the undercut can get you if you time it right. There's Patrick Smith coming out, Hannah Allen as well, and well, we've got ourselves a lot of differing pit strategies all abound here at Nashville, and that's the magic of pit stops, really, especially when it comes to a green flag run. Yep, as has brought his car down pit road, but you see cars still out on the racetrack. Logan Cloud in the 10 and Jeff Bolton in the 82. We noted that they had pitted a little bit earlier in the race, and Logan Cloud still staying on the track, but you can just tell the difference between new tires and old tires, as Blaze McKinney will likely cycle out as the leader. BBJ going to be third out of the gate, but that 82 car, they're getting some laps led here now. They're hoping, they're banking on a caution to come out, and if that happens, they are really in a tremendously good spot. But the consequence of staying out is losing a lot of time, and right now you can tell how slow the lap times are, 31.3 to a 29.8, so that is a huge difference, and really those new tires pay such big dividends for all of these drivers alike. But Blaze McKinney, he's got to get around this 82 car in case a caution does come out on the track. But as of right now, Cloud really holding up BBJ. Blake Warren's going to cycle out ahead of Noah Hart and Corey Williams. So the Joseph Strigley team, they really picked up a really good stop. Voice track there, but a really good stop for Blake Warren as here he goes down the inside of Bradley Bishop Jr. Wow, what a statement there. And Blake Warren has had really good success in the Napa Truck Series, but he's showing a lot of it today here as well, looking very pretty on the radar. And even if they drop down the order, this is still pretty much a net gain for this 11 team. You see right behind him a huge gang of cars, Bobo Jones, Aiden Smith, there's RJ Bishop, James Ellison, Joseph Strigley, and there's Jacob Hart and the others. But the cycle has not quite finished just yet. It's mostly done, but you see, you're going to look in the leaderboard here. A lot of drivers are lapped down and some out of the race early on due to some accidents. But more or less, though, we're starting to see the drivers start to unravel. The cars that put themselves on the lead lap were Blaze McKinney and Jack Halleck, and soon to be another wad of cars coming in hot. But Jack Halleck starting to reel in Blaze McKinney right now. But for Jeff Bolton, these guys, they're trying to throw a huge Hail Mary to see if a caution can come out. But you see, oh man, all of these drivers left and right starting to pass them to and fro, and well, it doesn't look like it might play into their favor so far. The field kind of spread out a little bit, but ooh, James Ellison really getting shuffled up the hill by Joseph Strigley. Jacob Hart trying to do something about it as well, but man, you see, this is a really gutsy call, but they really got nothing to lose with how far down in the owner standings they are, so they're willing to roll the dice. And Blake Warren really slow on that track. He's got an issue in that leaf filter car, and here he brings it down the bottom of the racetrack, and oh no, a mech failure for them. Looked to be a tire down on that 11 team, and a tough break for them. They were inside the top 10, and that's not going to be the case in a horrible situation for the Joseph Strigley Racing Team. Halleck's got a really good run on Blaze McKinney, and here he goes diving down the bottom. This is for the 4th position, but again, once the cycle commences and really concludes, it's going to put these two really first and second, and you see not too far behind in the screen, Noah Hart going to be cycled to 3rd again, depending on if circumstances go their way. But Jack Halleck, though, now going to advance to the race lead. Blaze McKinney going to try and file back in line, but he's actually going to fight on the outside groove, and that 90 car looking very quick. But with these two battling it out, it's really going to help the 12 car quite a lot. And Blaze McKinney, oh man, all the way on the outside, but couldn't get anything off of turn number 4. And that's not going to help them. There's Bolton down pit road, Clouds down pit road as well. So now the race is on between the top two here of Halleck and McKinney. But Noah Hart, though, on a little bit fresher tires. than the top two here, but Blaze McKinney trying to reel in the 74 car once again. You see Corey Williams, there's BBJ, Bobo Jones, there's Austin Miller coming off of pit road to conclude his final stop. Bobo Jones, there's Strigley, as we noted, Aiden Smith in the top 10. Great run for him. James Ellison on the outskirts of that top 10 with RJ Bishop running into that 10th spot. But right now, though, the top two are Fords, and, well, these two have had histories before. Hydra and Roush, they've had a very bitter history with one another, and they're going to be going at it to and fro, but now Blaze McKinney is going to have to be the pursuer. And look at the run he got off of turn number 4, but not able to really peek underneath Jack Halleck. And now Halleck is going to have to be on the defensive from Blaze McKinney's number 90. Blaze McKinney all over the back bumper of Jack Halleck off of turn number 2, and he is there. Here he goes down towards the inside. Halleck not able to really put up much there, and oh man, what an exit from the 90 car, and now they're going to be side by side for the lead. Roush versus Hydra, and these two have had a very bitter history to say the least, and now they're going to fight against one another extremely hard. And these two differing philosophies and differing agendas to say the least, and could this vendetta between these two teams really be the pitfall, because that's just going to allow Noah Hart really to close in the gap between these drivers, and they're going to easily try and dispute that fight immediately, or really diffuse the fight, as now Blaze McKinney clears the 74 car for the race lead. Noah Hart, though, sitting in third. BBJ in that 5th spot trying to hunt down Corey Williams' 14 car, and there you see Strigley, Jones, and Aiden Smith there, as well as Ellison and Bishop. So those guys still running very well, and you see 11th through 20th there. You see Patrick Smith in 19th, William Brock in 20th, just to name a few small drivers or small teams trying to get themselves some really good runs into their favor. Jack Halleck, though, all over the back bumper of Blaze McKinney, really caught the draft there, and Jack Halleck gonna make a dive down towards the bottom of the racetrack, and what a late commitment as Blaze McKinney really overdrove the corner. Here comes Halleck back down towards the bottom to retake the lead away. And Noah Hart, though, starting to linger himself into the picture, and look how fast that number 12 car is. He is right there and trying to make a peek underneath Blaze McKinney, but the 90 car living to fight another day as he's going to hold on to second. But that 12 car is just so quick against the top two, and I think it really comes to show the Fisher Motorsports team really made some great adjustments, and Noah Hart's really loving these adjustments because he has clocked in way faster lap times than the top two, and it also helps that these guys ahead of him are going at it, and that might be the big difference if Hart is able to get around him, because Hart now all over the back bumper of Blaze McKinney here down the front stretch. Here he goes. Will he make a move down the bottom? Yes, he will. And now for the second position, Noah Hart bottom, McKinney up top, and Noah Hart just able to get the speed off the corner, has the grip necessary, and Noah Hart now up to the second position ahead of that 90 car. Now, he has got his eyes on Jack Halleck's number 74, and look at the run he got into turn number 3 and 4. And this 12 car, he's just so quick. It's just hard to reiterate how fast this car is. And now, down to the bottom of the racetrack, once again, gonna try and pull the exact same move he did on McKinney. And what a textbook pass for the race lead. Noah Hart has propelled himself towards the front, and this team sitting 13th in the point standings only has gotten one top 10 this season. They have really got to step it up, and right now they have stepped it up indeed. They've had the speed, but they just haven't had the fortune and strategy to really put themselves in a better spot. And right now, with the race lead, Hart has put themselves into a really good spot, just like last week, to try and put themselves as winners once again in the Hardee's National Series. As Jack Halleck, though, sitting right behind him, BBJ trying to take the spot away from Corey Williams for the 4th spot, and Corey Williams, though, having another great run in the 14 team. And this is another team looking to try and contend for this championship, and now he is going to file right behind Bradley Bishop Jr. Will he return the favor to make a move down the bottom? Yes, he will. And here comes Corey down towards the inside of that 45 car, and both of them sparring partners in this race, just kind of on their own little island. And Corey Williams down at the bottom, BBG up top. Both cars looking just dead even, to say the least, in this race. And regardless, both of them are going to have a really good point stake. Corey Williams sitting 6th in the standings, and BBJ sitting 2nd in the points. But Corey Williams, they've just been having a very quiet run, to say the least. Joseph Strigley also having an excellent run, running in the top 10, running in 6th. Bobo Jones 7th, we noted. Aiden Smith trying to hold off these other guys, Jacob Hart and Tim Fiegel, for the 8th position. Great run for Aiden Smith, to say the least. But now the leaders have been catching lap traffic once again. Matt DeLeo in that 37 is going to be the next opponent. Noah Hart's going to have to really pass, and it's going to have to be a really good spot if he wants to do so, because we've seen lap traffic really hold up the leaders, and we're starting to see it again. And Hart really slow there, not able to really get around the 37. And Jack Halleck, this is an opportunity. They've got to really take this opportunity to make a move down towards the bottom, maybe bump him out of the way. But now they have all clogged up against one another. And Hart gonna go in the inside off of turn number 4. Cloud gonna go the inside of Jack Halleck. And that's really gonna hinder the progress of the 74 for the time being. But now Halleck gonna try and thread the needle, get between the 37 and the 10. But ooh, Cloud gonna really wash up the hill. That's gonna cost Halleck a lot of ground off the corner. And it really was the detriment of Noah Hart at first, but now it might be another detriment for Jack Halleck's 74 car once again. Last week, the Hydra cars held him up, and now the 10 car and the 37 really hurting the progress of the Pennzoil car. And now Blaze McKinney looking to reclaim 2nd away, but it doesn't really look like they're able to really get much down on that number 12 car. Hart's really gone away from the 2 Fords, and now Blaze McKinney up to the 2nd spot. Halleck gonna drop down to 3rd, and right behind him, a big gaggle of cars. Brandon Cresta trying to get into the top 10, got around Bobo Jones, and well, that car's having an aneurysm, to say the least. But that 43 car there, the screen really glitching there. But Brandon Cresta going down the bottom underneath Tim Fiegel, and here he goes. And Cresta again, a hard charger in this race. The biggest mover would be an understatement for this team, and well, this 8 car, they have put themselves in another good spot to get some really good points. And I know they certainly wanted to start up higher on the grid, and a lot of what ifs for that team, but even so, a splendid run for them. 5 laps to go in the race. Noah Hart now struggling to get around Ryan Reed, but Reed gets out of the way, goes down to the outside, and Hart goes down towards the inside here. And you see the rest on back. Jacob Hart trying to reclimb himself into the top 10. Went in the grass at one point, and now he is up towards the 7th spot. Brandon Cresta all over the back bumper of this 05 car, looking to see if he can get around him with ease, but Tim Fiegel starting to march forwards. Cole Baker with a really good run off the corner here. RJ Bishop just outside the top 10, running in the 12th position. James Elson still a really good run regardless for this team. 14th, they're pretty far down the order. They're one of those teams also trying to make the most out of it. They're 42nd in the standings, or owners points, and so really with what they're doing, they are already gonna make some really good gains on their competitors and will really get close towards that top 30 as they continue to weave through lap traffic. Hart still commanding lead over 2nd and 3rd, and I think all Hart's got to do is really just chill and really just put in some very consistent lap times if he wants to really get this race W. Elson towards the inside of RJ Bishop here, and only 2 laps to go remaining here in this event, here in Music City, here at Nashville Super Speedway to be exact. And Ellison trying to find something on the bottom of the racetrack underneath. Jack Porkins is in the top 20. What happened to him? Looks like he's brought his car down pit road. He's got an issue with that 41 car, but that's going to really cost them in terms of the owner's standings. And now the white flag is going to fly. 1 more lap to go here at Nashville. Noah Hart in command, the gap just huge over Jack Halleck. Halleck able to take 2nd away from Blaze McKinney, but here they go down the backstretch here. Last week, Noah Hart was short of a win with only a handful of laps to go at Wisconsin, but there's going to be no fuel to play as a factor here because coming off of 4, they found the magic here, and for Noah Hart, victory lane is at hand. He wins here at Nashville. Halleck ends up in 2nd, Blaze McKinney in 3rd. These 2 drivers They were going at it in the bitter rivalry between Hydra and Roush. That might have been the biggest downfall these guys had. They were too stuck with their vendetta, and at the end of the day, it was Noah Hart that robbed them away of a race win. But even so, a well-deserved win from the 12 team. They played a really good strategy, and this was the end result, a race win for this 12 team, their first of the season. And for the other drivers such as Strigley and Downey for next week, they're going to be very optimistic with their momentum. Strigley finishing in 6th, BBJ sitting in that 5th spot, Williams 4th. Then you got Krast, a really good climb up to the 7th spot, Hart 8th. Then you got Tim Fiegel 9th, and Bobo Jones rounding out your top 10. Another consistent effort for this 9 team, and that's really what they gotta do. They really just gotta keep getting top 10s one after another, and that comes to show how scary their averaging finishing position's been. And while we've got ourselves a wild race in our hands, some early carnage, differing pit strategies, and a lot of different leaders. And with Noah Hart's strategy from the Fisher camp, they brought themselves in victory lane, and that's gonna help them a lot in terms of forward momentum. Thank you all for watching the round of Nashville. Next week, the round of Kentucky awaits for all these Hardee's National Series drivers and Napa Truck Series drivers alike. Another weekend to where the two of them will partner up and have their drivers go at it in the banks of Kentucky. We'll take a look at the rest of the race results, and as always, thank you for watching.